My child, I have watched you in the thick of the smoke and the fire. I have seen the weight of the shield you have carried, and I have felt the tremors in your hands as you braced for yet another onslaught. The ground beneath your feet has been hard and unforgiving, and the sky above has been dark with the clouds of a conflict you did not choose, but one you have fought with every ounce of your strength. For years, it seems, you have been in a posture of defense, waiting for the next arrow to fly, the next storm to break, or the next mountain to crumble. But listen to me now, for the sound of the trumpet has changed. The atmosphere is no longer thick with the scent of sulfur and sweat. It is being washed clean by the fragrance of my grace. I have stepped into your battlefield. I have moved through the front lines and stood directly in the center of the chaos that sought to consume you. With a single word, I have commanded the waves to be still and the winds to cease their howling. The war you have been fighting, the internal battles of the mind, the external struggles against circumstances, the spiritual weight that has pressed against your soul, is finally over. I did not come merely to help you fight. I came to end the fight. I have disarmed the shadows that haunted your nights and broken the bows of those who stood against your peace. You no longer need to look over your shoulder, for the enemies you saw yesterday you shall see no more forever. The silence that is falling over this field is not the silence of defeat, but the profound, holy silence of victory. It is the quiet that follows a completed work. I want you to look at your hands. I see how tightly you are still gripping that sword. I see how your fingers have locked around the hilt, a reflex born of survival. But I am asking you now to let go. Open your hands, my precious one. Let the steel fall to the earth. It has served its purpose, but in my presence it is no longer required. You do not need to defend yourself when the King of Kings stands before you as your shield. You do not need to strategize your next move when I have already secured the territory. Drop your weapons. Let the armor, heavy and scarred, fall away from your shoulders. It is time for you to stand unburdened in the light of my countenance. Breathe. Do you feel the air changing? The air is no longer thin and cold. It is rich with the warmth of my love. Inhale deeply. Let the breath of my spirit fill the lungs that have been constricted by fear and exhaustion. I am restoring the rhythm of your heart to match my own. You have been in a state of high alert for so long that you have forgotten what it feels like to simply be. I am here to remind you. I am here to wash the dust of the conflict from your face and to heal the wounds you sustained in the heat of the day. The victory I give is not just a cessation of hostilities. It is a total restoration of your soul. I have seen the tears you shed when no one was looking, the moments when you felt you could not take another step, yet you stood. You have been faithful in the fire, and now the fire has been quenched by the river of my peace. Rest in this moment. Do not rush to the next task or look for the next battle. There is a sacred stillness here, a boundary I have drawn around you that nothing can cross. I have declared this ground holy. I have declared this season finished. The struggle has been your teacher, but it is no longer your master. I am your master, and I say, it is finished. The victory is not something you have to achieve. It is something I have already won and am now handing to you as an inheritance. Can you sense the shift? The shadows are fleeing and the morning star is rising in your heart. You are safe. You are held. You are home. The battlefield is now a garden of rest. Raise your eyes and look at me. See the joy in my face as I welcome you into this new day. The noise of the world is fading, and only the sound of my voice remains, whispering to you that you are loved, you are mine, and the war is truly over. Let the peace that surpasses all understanding guard your heart and your mind. This is not just a pause in the struggle. It is the end of the old way of living. From this moment on, you will not move from a place of fighting for victory, but from a place of resting in the victory I have already secured. I am your father, and I have come to take you home from the front lines. The flag of my love is flying over you, and it shall never be lowered. Rest now, for the battle is truly done, and your new life of peace has begun. My child, do you feel the lightness of your hands? For too long, you have clutched the hilt of a sword you were never meant to swing, and your fingers have grown stiff from the tension of a battle I had already won in the heavens. I see the marks the armor has left on your skin, the indentations of worry, the calluses of self-reliance, the exhaustion that has seeped into your very marrow. You have fought with such courage, but I want you to know that the greatest act of bravery you will ever perform is the act of letting go. Lay down the heavy weight of your own defense. I am your shield and your defender. You were never meant to be your own protector. You were meant to be my beloved. When the arrows flew in the dark of night, I was the one who caught them before they could pierce your soul. When the whispers of the enemy tried to drown out the truth of who you are, I was the one who stood in the gap, speaking your name with honor. You have spent years looking over your shoulder, waiting for the next attack, but I am telling you now that you can turn around and look forward into the light. My presence is a wall of fire around you, a fortress that no darkness can penetrate. Think of the battles you cannot see, the ones I fought while you were sleeping, the ones I resolved before they ever reached your doorstep. I am the God who moves in the unseen, who orchestrates the stars, and who calms the storms with a single word. If I can hold the universe in my hands, can I not hold your life? Can I not handle the complications of your heart and the uncertainties of your future? Rest in my love, for it is the only foundation that will never shake. My love is not a reward for your victory. It is the reason the victory is yours. I do not love you because you won. I won because I love you. Let this truth sink deep into the places where you have felt most alone. You are not a soldier left behind on the field. You are a child being carried home in the arms of a father who would move heaven and earth to keep you safe. The weight you have been carrying, the weight of proving yourself, the weight of keeping everything together, the weight of your own mistakes, I am taking it all from you now. Feel the release in your spirit. Feel the breath returning to your lungs. In my presence, there is no need for performance. You do not have to earn your place at my table. You do not have to convince me of your worth. I have already declared it with my own blood. The flag you are raising now is not a banner of your own strength, but a banner of my faithfulness. It is a flag of surrender that is also a flag of triumph, for when you surrender to me, you inherit all that I am. Trust me with the details you cannot figure out. Trust me with the people you cannot change. Trust me with the healing you cannot force. I am working even in the silence. I am building even in the stillness. Your rest is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of your absolute trust in my power. When you rest, you are saying to the world that your Father is in control. You are saying that the battle is truly over. Let the peace that flows from my throne wash over you like a gentle river, clearing away the dust and the blood of the conflict. You are clean. You are whole. You are protected. Walk now into the garden I have prepared for you. There are no more enemies here, only the flowers of my grace and the fruits of my spirit. Every step you take from this moment on is on holy ground, secured by my promise and guarded by my hand. You are safe, my child. You are so very safe. The war is finished and the celebration has only just begun. I am your shield, your glory, and the lifter of your head. Raise your flag high not because you are strong, but because I am your God and I have made you more than a conqueror. Breathe. Be still. Know that I am here and I will never let you go. The weight is gone. The victory is yours. Welcome to the rest you were always meant to have. I see the many times you stayed awake at night, mapping out strategies for battles that I had already decommissioned. I see the tears you shed when you felt the walls closing in, unaware that I was the very wall surrounding you to keep the darkness out. You are my masterpiece, and a masterpiece does not need to defend its own beauty. It simply exists to be admired. I admire you. I cherish you. My love is not a static thing. It is a living, breathing shield that moves with you wherever you go. When you walk through the valleys, my shield is there. When you climb the mountains, my shield is there. Even when you feel you have failed, my shield of grace is there to prevent your fall from being final. You are held in a grip that knows no weakness. Trust me to handle the complexities of the hearts around you. Trust me to soften the hard ground and to open the doors that no man can shut. Your only task is to remain in me. Like a branch in a vine, you do not struggle to produce fruit. You simply abide, and the fruit comes because of the life flowing through you. Let my life flow through you now. Let my peace become your natural rhythm. The era of striving is over. The era of fighting for survival is a memory. You are now in the era of thriving in my abundance. This flag of victory you hold is white, symbolizing the purity of my peace and the total surrender of your burdens. It is also gold, reflecting the glory of the inheritance I have bestowed upon you. It is a flag that tells the principalities and powers that you belong to the King, and you are under his sovereign protection. Rest, my beloved. Rest in the certainty that I am God and I am for you. Nothing can separate us and nothing can take back the victory I have given you. The silence you hear is not emptiness. It is the quiet of a battlefield turned into a sanctuary. I am here. You are home. We are one. As you stand in this sanctuary, breathing in the stillness of the victory I have secured, I want you to lift your eyes toward my horizon. You have spent so long counting pennies and measuring crumbs, fearing that the supply would run out before the need was met. But look at me. Do I look like a father who is limited? Do I look like a king whose granaries are depleted? I tell you the truth, my storehouses are never empty. They are not measured by the standards of this world, nor are they subject to the fluctuations of earthly economies. My abundance is a river that never runs dry, fed by the eternal springs of my grace. I see every worry that flutters like a trapped bird in your chest. I see the nights you spent calculating and recalculating, trying to make the finite stretch to cover the infinite gaps in your life. I want you to release that math now. The arithmetic of heaven does not subtract, it multiplies. I see the bills, the health reports, the broken relationships, and the silent prayers for a way out where there seems to be none. I have heard every whisper of your heart, and I am not indifferent. My storehouses are not merely full, they are overflowing, and their doors have been unbolted for your sake. I am even now opening the windows of heaven over you. This is not a trickle, it is a downpour. This provision is not just for your survival, it is for your thriving. I am sending rain where there has been drought, and manna where there has been barrenness. You will see it in the unexpected favor, the sudden clarity, and the wisdom that solves the unsolvable problem. I am providing for you in ways that your mind cannot yet map out because my ways are higher than your ways, and my thoughts are deeper than your fears. Trust is the key that turns the lock of my treasury. When you look at the mountain of your need, do not tremble. That mountain is but a pebble in the palm of my hand. I have already gone before you. I have already planted the seeds of your harvest in the very soil where you thought nothing could ever grow again. The victory flag you raise is also a banner of my faithfulness. It signals to the world that you are a child of the Most High, and your Father is the owner of the cattle on 1,000 hills. You have been conditioned to think in terms of lack, but I am reconditioning your heart to think in terms of my glory. My storehouses contain more than just material things. They hold the peace that surpasses understanding, the strength that is made perfect in weakness, and the joy that no man can take from you. You have been fighting for scraps when I have prepared a banquet. The windows of heaven are swinging wide, and the hinges will not rust shut. I am pouring out a blessing that you will not have room enough to contain, and you will find yourself becoming a conduit for others, a wellspring in the desert for those who are still thirsty. Do not be afraid of the tomorrow you cannot see, for I am already there, preparing the path and stocking the shelves of your future. Your only task is to remain in this place of trust, to keep your hands open instead of clenched. Let go of the need to control the how and the when, and simply rest in the who. I am your provider. I am your sustainer. I am your father. The era of striving for your daily bread with tears is over. You are now in the season of receiving with songs of praise. Look up, my beloved. The clouds of lack are breaking, and the light of my infinite supply is shining through. You are loved, you are seen, and you are abundantly provided for. Every need is met in me. But my beloved, I do not just want to fill your hands. I want to fill your heart with the truth of who you are in my sight. Even as I fill your storehouses and make your path straight, I desire to heal the image you hold of yourself in the secret chambers of your mind. For too long, you have walked with a bowed head, not because of the weight of your burdens, but because of the weight of the words spoken over you by those who do not know my heart. The world has its own scales, its own measurements, and its own definitions of worth, and it has tried to measure you by them. It has told you that you are not enough, or perhaps that you are too much. It has labeled you by your past, branded you by your mistakes, and defined you by the things you lack. But I am your creator, and I am the only one who holds the right to define you. I want you to look into the mirror of my spirit and see what I see. When I look at you, I do not see the scars of your battles or the dust of your journey. I see my child. I see a masterpiece that I have been crafting since before the foundation of the world. In my eyes, you are perfect. Do not let your heart recoil at that word, for my definition of perfection is not the world's definition of flawlessness. My perfection is the completion of my purpose within you. I have known you before time began, before the first star was breathed into the darkness, and before the oceans were poured into their deep beds. You were a thought in my heart long before you were a breath in your lungs. I saw you then, and I see you now, with a love that has no conditions, no limits, and no end. My love for you is not a reward for your performance. It is a permanent state of my being. You cannot earn more of it by your successes, and you cannot lose it by your failures. It is a constant, unwavering light that shines upon you simply because you are mine. The world may have rejected you, but I have chosen you. The world may have cast you aside, but I have called you by name and brought you into my inner courts. You are not a mistake. You are not an accident of nature or a byproduct of circumstance. You are a divine intention. Every detail of your being, from the way you think to the way you feel, was woven together by my hands with infinite care and precision. I do not make mistakes, and I did not make a mistake when I created you. The victory I am giving you is not just a victory over your circumstances. It is a victory over the lies that have held your soul in bondage. I am stripping away the labels that have been stuck to your heart, the labels of unworthy, unloved, failure, and forgotten. I am replacing them with my own truth. You are redeemed. You are cherished. You are the apple of my eye. You are my treasure, hidden in a field for which I gave everything to possess. Raise your flag of victory now, not because you have reached a destination of human perfection, but because you have accepted the perfection of my love for you. Stand tall in this identity. Let the realization of your worth in my eyes become the foundation upon which you build your new life. When the enemy whispers that you are nothing, remind him that I gave everything for you. When the world tries to measure you, remind yourself that you are immeasurable in the eyes of your Father. This is the peace that surpasses all understanding, the peace of knowing that you are fully known and yet fully loved. There is no shadow in you that can turn my face away, for I have already seen every dark corner and decided to fill it with my light. You are beautiful to me. You are radiant with the glory I have placed within you. As you move forward in this season of triumph, do not carry the old garments of shame. They do not fit the person you have become in me. Walk in the freedom of knowing that my gaze upon you is always one of delight. I am singing over you with joy, and my song is a melody of restoration. You are whole, you are clean, you are mine forever. Let this truth settle deep into your bones until it becomes your breath and your strength. You are exactly who I wanted you to be, and I love you with an everlasting love. I know there were moments when the silence of the night felt like a deafening roar of absence, when you reached out your hand into the void and felt nothing but the biting chill of isolation. You wondered where I was when the arrows were flying and the ground was shaking beneath your feet. You cried out in the secret chambers of your heart, asking if I had forgotten the path to your door, if I had turned my gaze toward a more deserving soul. But listen closely now, my beloved child, for I have a secret to tell you that will rewrite every memory of your pain. I was never closer to you than in those moments when you felt most alone. I was not a distant observer watching your struggle from the safety of a golden throne. I was the very air that filled your lungs when you felt you could no longer breathe. I was the unseen foundation beneath your feet when the world seemed to give way to the abyss. When you felt the biting cold of the world's indifference or the frost of a broken heart, I was the internal warmth, the embers of hope that refused to be extinguished even in the dampest fog of despair. I have never left your side, not for a single heartbeat, not for a fleeting second. Even when the darkness felt thickest, like a heavy, suffocating shroud pressing against your eyes, I was there, weaving my light into the very fabric of your endurance. You saw only the shadow, but I was the light that caused the shadow to fall. I am the whisper in the quiet that speaks your name with a tenderness that no earthly tongue can replicate, a sound so soft it can only be heard by the spirit, yet so strong it can shatter the chains of the past. When the world is loud and demanding, trying to drown out your worth with its clamor, my voice is the steady, gentle undertone that reminds you of your true identity. I did not watch your battle from a distance. I was in the trenches with you, shielding you from more than you will ever know in this life. Do not look at the scars of your loneliness as signs of my desertion. Look at them as the places where my grace was most deeply etched into your spirit. You are never a solitary figure on the horizon of existence. You are tethered to me by a bond that neither time, nor trial, nor the deepest valley can sever. As you raise your flag of victory today, do not raise it as one who survived by their own strength alone. Raise it as one who was carried through the flood and held fast through the storm by an everlasting arm. I am the warmth in your cold, the peace in your panic, and the steady hand that guides you into the light of this new season. You felt alone because I was working in the depths where only I can go, refining the gold of your character in the secret, hidden places of the soul where no other human eye could reach. I was the silent partner in your growth, the quiet gardener of your spirit. I am the whisper that says, I love you, when the world says you are forgotten. I am the warmth that returns to your limbs after the long, grueling winter of the soul. Lift your head and see me standing right beside you, for I have never moved, and I will never leave. The victory is not just in the ending of the war, but in the realization that you were never fighting it by yourself. I am your father, and you are my joy. Every tear you shed was caught in my palm, and every sigh you breathed was heard in the halls of heaven. Together we have crossed the threshold into this new day of triumph, and together we shall remain forever and always. There is no distance between us that my love has not already bridged with its own lifeblood. Rest in this truth. You are accompanied by the Creator of all things, and my presence is your permanent inheritance. You need never fear the silence again, for I have filled it with my song. You need never fear the cold again, for I have wrapped you in the mantle of my glory. Walk now in the sunlight of my favor, knowing that every step you take is echoed by my own, for we are inseparable, and you are eternally, safely, and beautifully mine. Raise your flag, my child, for we have won. Look up, my beloved, and let the sight of your own hands surprise you. They are no longer trembling with the fatigue of the sword, but are steady as they grasp the staff of my promise. See that banner fluttering in the wind of my spirit, the one you are holding even now. It is not a symbol of a peace treaty yet to be signed, nor a hope for a ceasefire in some distant tomorrow. It is the declaration of a conquest already finalized in the courts of eternity. Many of my children live as though they are still in the trenches, flinching at every sudden sound, waiting for the smoke to clear before they dare to smile or take a full breath. But I tell you, the smoke has already been dispersed by the breath of my nostrils, and the ground you stand upon is holy, reclaimed, and forever yours. You do not need to wait for a feeling or a sign from the world to know you are victorious. You only need to look at me. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the one who saw the end from the beginning, and I tell you that the end was settled before the foundations of the world were laid. Your victory is not a distant shoreline you are rowing toward with tired arms. It is the very boat in which you sit. It is the atmosphere you breathe. When I say raise your flag, I am inviting you to change your perspective entirely. I am asking you to shift from a posture of pleading to a posture of praise. Pleading is for those who are unsure of the outcome, but praise is for those who have seen the King's seal upon the decree. Do not let your circumstances dictate your song. Your circumstances are temporary shadows, shifting and fading with the passing hours, but my word is the unshakable foundation of all that is. Think of the years you spent in the valley of doubt, where the shadows seemed to stretch forever, threatening to swallow your very identity. Those shadows were never larger than my light. They were only reflections of your own turning away in fear. Now that you have turned your face toward me, you see that the light has always been there, waiting to illuminate the path I have prepared for your dancing feet. The flag you hold is woven from the threads of your perseverance and my absolute faithfulness. It is a tapestry of grace, colored with the hues of my mercy. Every time you chose to believe me despite the searing pain, you added a profound stitch to this banner. Every time you whispered my name in the thickest dark, you strengthened its fabric against the storms. Now, wave it high, without apology or hesitation. Let the principalities and powers see that you finally know who you are in me. Let the world witness the radiant joy of a soul that has been set free from the gravity of its own failures. You are no longer defined by the scars of the battle, but by the glory of the win. Those scars are now badges of honor, testimonies of the supernatural strength I poured into you when you felt you had absolutely nothing left to give. They are not reminders of defeat. They are proof that the enemy could not hold you, could not break you, and could not keep you. He tried to claim your peace, your joy, and your destiny, but he found nothing in you that he could keep, because I have filled every corner of your being with myself. Do not be afraid to be happy, my child. Sometimes, the human heart becomes so accustomed to the weight of the burden that it feels naked and vulnerable without it. You might feel a strange, lingering hesitation to let go of the gravity of your struggles, as if by being lighthearted you are being unfaithful to the difficulty of the journey. But the destination of every journey I lead is joy. I did not bring you through the fire to leave you smelling like smoke. I brought you through to refine you into gold that reflects my own image. That gold is meant to shine, to blind the darkness, to provide warmth to those still in the cold. Your laughter is a weapon that dismantles the lies of the accuser. Your rest is a quiet, powerful declaration that the work is truly finished. I see you looking back sometimes, wondering if the enemy will return from the shadows. But look at the horizon I have drawn around you. I have placed a hedge of fire that no darkness can penetrate, and I stand as the watchman of your soul. The victory I give is not fragile. It does not depend on your ability to maintain it through your own effort or your own perfect behavior. It depends on my ability to sustain it through my infinite power, and my power knows no limit. You are resting in the finished work of my Son. You are seated in heavenly places even as your feet touch the dust of the earth. This is your current reality. You are not going to be a conqueror. You are more than a conqueror right now. The difference is subtle, but it changes everything about how you live. When you fight for victory, you are anxious, driven, and easily shaken. When you live from victory, you are peaceful, purposeful, and immovable. Your movements become graceful because you are no longer running from a predator. You are walking in step with your Father. Your words become powerful because they are no longer fueled by the desperate energy of fear, but by the calm authority I have delegated to you as my heir. Raise your head. Let the sun of my favor warm your face and dry the last of your tears. There is no more hiding, no more cowering in the caves of what if. The what if has been replaced by the eternal it is finished. My love for you is the banner over you, and that love is the greatest force in the universe. It has conquered death, it has silenced the grave, and it has claimed you as its own forever. Walk in this truth today and every day. Let the flag of your victory be the first thing people see when they look at you, not because of your own pride, but because of my undeniable, transformative presence in your life. You are my masterpiece, and today, the world sees the finished work. We have won, and this victory is your permanent inheritance.